Just to paraphrase what I wrote in my book, Kung Fu Maintenance. You know, the hazards of the tasks involved in maintenance means some people will eventually get hurt. It's up to you to practice safety, and Kung Fu Maintenance is not to be held responsible for anyone thinking to practice Kung Fu Maintenance. You know, your life is your own and your choices follow you. Choose wisdom and choose life. Keep your blood inside you and decease outside you by practicing safety. This has been my KFM disclaimer. Let's go fix some stuff. As always, don't touch anything so you know exactly what you're doing. The gear already ready to go. Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you how to tap power. If you're up on the roof and you don't have power, you don't have a plug to plug into, we've made our plug, and I went ahead and pulled the disconnect. This unit's live and running, but we always have constant power on the bottom here. And now that we've pulled the disconnect, we want to discharge the capacitor first. That'll make this safer. And then what we're going to do is connect our leads to the bottom here, which this one, I don't have a whole lot of room, but there's a lead there, a lead there. So what we're going to do is connect the hot to one side. Again, we've disconnected our power and we've discharged our capacitors. Okay. So we're taking one hot side, and it doesn't matter really which one. You just want to make sure you get your hot wire. And I should have labeled the hot wire. When you're facing an outlet, it's the one on the right side. So I'm going to trace this back, and then I'm going to Sharpie the one that it is. Okay. And it's this one here with all the tape on it. I'm going to mark that one a little further back from the white. And that way it's more clearly labeled. So anyway, we're going to clip our hot wire on the terminal there. Now you can see this terminal is shared on that side, and then we're going to clip our neutral wire on the ground and our ground wire on the ground as well. I know it sounds a little tricky, but what we're doing is we're pulling 110. We don't want to hook up our neutral to the other side. That would give us 220, and that's kind of the critical part here. What we want to do is go to ground and to ground, which again is a little tricky, but what we can do is kind of hook these two together, and that way we've got a full, it's kind of double grounded, I guess you'd say. I guess I'd say. You might not say it that way, but and it's definitely tricky to see in there. So I'm gonna switch camera. Explain this a little bit better. What we've got is the hot side going to either side of the contactor, and then the neutral and the ground going to ground. It's not, I wish it was a little clearer here, but it's not very clear. But you've got the hot side going to either side of the contactor. You don't want both sides going to the contactor. That would give you 220. So by connecting the hot wire to the bottom of one side of the contactor, that gives us 110. The neutral and the ground will go to ground, and that will complete the circuit to give us 110. If we connected the hot to one side and then the neutral to another side of the bottom of the contactor, that would give us 220. We don't want 220, we just want 110. Hence we have the hot side to the bottom of one side of the contactor, and then neutral and ground to ground. Okay. Now we're able to energize the system, and we'll have power at our outlet. Definitely this is dangerous. It's very dangerous, to say the least. But this is one way that you can tap power when you're up on the roof and you need power. Now the outlet allows us to put a load, a vacuum pump or a recovery machine, plugged into the outlet in between hot and ground, and we have our 110 voltage. Okay, at this point I don't need the unit running because I'm not able to use the compressor
To recover the refrigerant.
So I'm going to disconnect the contactor. You're going to hear it pop.
That second clicking you hear is a high side solenoid.
Once we're finished, then we can just reconnect it. But now that's disengaged the contactor up top, and so now we'll only have power on the bottom. So I can plug it in and we won't hear the unit turn on. But we do have power to the bottom half of the deal, so just to be aware. Now we have power. Now it's how we can hook up our line. So if you disconnect the contactor on the left side, then everything will disconnect. But if you disconnect it lower where the 5-minute delay is, you may need to reconnect the solenoid if you have a solenoid on the high side. That's what I had to do here. Make it pop in. It's probably better to just disconnect it up top on the left side of the contactor. Come in just on this side, so I like that better.
The high side solenoid valve.
So now our valve is open and activated.
So the high side's open.
So as we're recovering our refrigerant from our cylinder, that side would get really cold. In order to speed it up, we could heat it up. But what's cool is that because we still have power coming in on the bottom of the contactor, that heater strip right there is actually working and is actually keeping the compressor and warming it up. So as the refrigerant is traveling to the bottom, it's actually speeding up our recovery, because on this side, this will start to get really warm, and it's really hot right now. I mean, it's smoking really, really hot. And we could put this in cold water to speed up our recovery, and that's the other side. We put it in a big trash bag filled with ice, and that'll make it recover a lot faster. But the other side is heating that side up, heating the compressor up, because that's acting as a container of refrigerant. And so right now the heater on the bottom is heating it up, but also the refrigerant, as it's lower in the can. I kind of showed this when recovering from a virgin refrigerant tank, how it gets really cold on the bottom. And now that heater on the bottom is helping to heat it up and speed things up. There it goes. Plug our deal in. Pull that vacuum.
And I just wanted to give a reminder here, after performing all your functions, when you go to disconnect, or if you need to touch anything in there again, don't forget to re-discharge the capacitor. It's just a good safety practice. After pulling the disconnect, always discharge the capacitor. It holds a charge and you don't want it to bite you. It's better safe than sorry.
29.9 and we're holding just fine.
This one's actually not covered in my Kung Fu maintenance book, but I do cover a lot of other things, and it's just kind of a fun read. You can get it on Amazon as an ebook for $2.99, or you can get it other places online as a regular book, but I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Kung Fu Maintenance, over now.